This is Michaela McLean, and you're listening to Beauty by Design. Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. It's already time to talk about another gate. My goodness, even my little girl today was like, this year seems to have just gone so fast, and I definitely have to agree. So, anyway, we're going to get into it, but before we do, I want to remind you that my Golden Experience Guide course, Your Energetic Marketing Guide, is out and available for purchase at goldenexperienceguide.com. This is definitely for that esthetician community to really start learning human design. Number one, to use in your marketing, of course, but what you're going to realize is as you get into it, that you're learning human design and you're learning it to be able to utilize in your life, your, practice, in your business, all the ways. And of course more than that. So very excited. You still have to till the end of this month, till the end of April, to get it at the intro price. It's priced like a mini course, $3.99. May 1st, that goes up to $5.99 because Ashley has said this is a masterclass. There's a lot of content in it. And like I said, it's definitely like a true education. So um, worksheets, meditation, yoga nidra, really drilling down what your niche is, what your energetic niche is in this course. You get to learn about the centers, your profile, the 6 lines, all the different things we touch on. The podcast starts to make more sense because you're going to have that as a reference and a resource to go to. So all kinds of cool things, worksheets and stuff included in this. So I highly recommend getting on it as soon as possible so you get in at that introductory price. If you, no matter when you buy it, it's lifetime access. You will get all the updates, and you're also, you get to have office hours. My goodness, as my brain's a little bit shot by this time of the day. I'm realizing there's been a lot going on. So anyway, I'm just so over the moon to have it out in the world. I cannot wait. I know a few people that have actually already finished it too, and I can't wait to start getting, yeah, like feedback from it and seeing how it really shows up in their lives. So yeah, as a line 4, I'm excited to see how like this is starting to really infect the aesthetics community in like the best way possible. I know it's definitely influenced a lot of friends of mine. And and I know showing up and going to show up even more in their work. For instance, Golden Experience, Ageless Ashley and Agent RX, we're brewing up a little something. I'm not going to say too much, but some ideas for our esthetician people who really want to take their business to the next level. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying for now. Um, and speaking of Agent RX, speaking of Golden Experience Guide, he has a course as well that's all about learning how to basically bring products to market. Like if you've been somebody that really wants to do that, like his course is incredible. I got to, of course, like watch it, and I'm like, I have zero desire, right? None whatsoever to do that. But for people that do, it is such an invaluable resource. Like he really is giving you all the insider secrets that people would gatekeep. And he has a brand new product out. I actually have my package sitting right over here next to me. When I'm done recording, I'm going to go open it up. I've been like, oh, Josh, I want to film it for you. Where you're like, this is me. It's like best of intentions. And I'm like, I'm going to, but then I'm like, okay, I just got to open this thing. I'm so excited. It is his cryopeptide mask. And this is so cool. Like on top of all like the amazing ingredients that are in it, one of the coolest things is like this is a mask that LED can penetrate. And it's the whole cryopeptide element is, it's like it's for use post treatment. And I told him, I was like, I cannot wait to use this after laser. It's for like after things like micro needling, really to kind of like restore the barrier. And I'm like, I'm ready to blast my face and then use this because I swell up really, really bad. And I suspect that this is going to be something that helps me not swell so bad. I'm like this with my little fox chill ones. I'm going to be good. Hopefully, I won't go to basketball size proportions. So, anyway, check those out. Check out those courses. Come to Golden Hour on April 30th. That one is going to be focused on my course. I'll be there answering questions about my course. I'm sure Josh will be moderating as well, and it's free. It's free. Just come hang out for the hour with an amazing community, right, of estheticians. So, of course, grab my free guide, the $11 master classes. All of those classes, FYI, are in the course. So, there's a bonus. That's like 5 hours of content right there. You can learn about everybody, which is kind of the point. But if you're not ready, you can just get your $11 class as well and learn about you. My one-on-ones are like super, super, super limited at this time. So, yeah, just again, too many other things going on. Projects for Little Fox or something very cool, very international happening. Again, I won't say anything till it's like out in the world, but incredible stuff. Incredible partnership that they have going. And of course, like some little magic fairy dust by me sprinkled in there that I can't wait. Can't wait to have it out in the world, have it out in another country, even in all the countries. And of course my yoga nidras, energetic beauty sleep, grab that. Got another one I'm about to put out as well. So, what do I usually say? Stay tuned. There's so much coming, but it's always true. I'm never not creating. So anyway, let's get on to the episode. Of course, my disclaimer, don't try to understand this at the mental level. Just let the sound current, my voice, the vibration, the frequency, the energy of beauty just sink into you like good skincare, like a gorgeous, occlusive mask of some kind, that cryopeptide. Okay, so this week, today, right? What are we talking about this week? Today, the sun is in Taurus. And now we're in human design gate 27, which is also located in the sacral center. So we've just moved from gate 3, sacral gate, to gate 27. We're just going around the corner. And this actually is part of the tribal defense circuitry, though. And this is, the defense circuitry is a sub-circuit of the tribal circuitry. And it's all about making, raising, protecting the babies. Tribal energy in general, I always say it's like the hippie commune. It's everybody contributing to support the survival of the group. So then the center itself, the sacral, it's responsible, basically for generating sustainable life force energy. It's the major motor center of the body graph. And again, the key word there is sustainable life force. It's a center for creation and vitality, and the sacral's energy is available to respond to the correct things. The 27 is known as nourishment. It's the gate of caring. And it's all about taking care of others, the offspring, air quotes, of the tribe. The other tribal channel that mirrors this, the 59-6, that one is about the creation of babies, So this side that we're talking about today is like, okay, here, the babies are here. Now we've got to take responsibility for their well-being, for raising them, essentially. And in the description of this one, Mother Teresa gets cited, frequently with this gate. So the keynote from the Red Book is nourishes and protects for survival. So the low expression is the classic filling from an empty cup, putting others' needs before your own, unhealthy boundaries, overgiving, also not using your strategy and authority to properly engage with who or what you're meant to be caring and nurturing. In a really low expression, it can also be selfishness and or giving with that tit for tat mentality. And then the high expression of this one, this gate is very altruistic. It wants to make sure everyone, young and old, are cared for, educated, fed, clothed, they feel valued, The energy of 27 helps ensure the continuation of the species. If you have this gate, it's very important that you adequately care for yourself first and foremost. You know, the cliche, put on your own oxygen mask before assisting others. So, in the gene keys, the shadow of this is selfishness, the gift is altruism, and the city is selflessness. And then the gene keys, Richard Rudd states, to give to others simply for the sake of giving activates healthy currents deep within your body. And in the white book, he talks about, basically going through this process of of moving away from selfishness. And he says, what is the nature of selfishness? What does it mean to be selfish? And how do we strike the balance between what's right and good for ourselves and what's right and good for others? This is the dilemma of this shadow, the dilemma of consideration. The difference between the shadow and the gift in this gene key, selfishness and altruism, lies in this single word, consideration. The question we have to ask ourselves is, how can I best serve my higher purpose in this situation? That's the golden question. It's not, how can I best serve myself? Those two questions often yield very different answers. Selfishness derives from ignorance. That's the truth. Ignorance is circumstantial, environmental, it's nurture, not nature. This isn't to say that the moment we have an education, we stop being selfish, but when we were brought up in a sensitive way, in an environment of care where love is in abundance, then we tend to grow up with a sense of higher purpose, and that's when selfishness is transcended. Every young child has a sweet, open heart which needs to be continuously nurtured through the values and of philanthropy. The values of philanthropy. This is not imposed by a parent, but nurtured. One of the great themes of the 27th gene key is the raising of children and creating a healthy emotional, social, and spiritual atmosphere for them to evolve. We come into the world unselfish, but we're schooled in selfishness because of the way we've built our society. We need to learn consideration, to consider the feelings of others. We need to realize that we're connected to everything and everyone on this wonderful planet. A selfish act harms the whole, which therefore harms ourselves. This is the moral message coming from the heart of this gene key, but it doesn't come as an imposition. As we shall see, it wells up from the inside the human heart, from the very fabric of our DNA. So notes here, this is part of a generated channel. Generated rules, apply to this gate. When it's operating correctly, it's acting in response. It's about being in response to the right things, the yes or no, either or, uh-huh, uh-uh. And in this case, responding to things you want to care for, things that need nurturing and nourishment. And also worth noting, those who are basically, if you're sacrally defined or non-sacral, right? Strategy and authority. That's first rule. It's like, that's great. I'm responding to this, but I'm a projector. It's like, have I been invited to care for and nurture this thing, right? Nourish it. So sacral beings have deep wells of energy to draw on. Those who carry this gate without the sacral defined. So our manifestors, projectors, reflectors, they need to be very careful not to overdo it. If you have gate 27 colored in, you really need to pay attention to boundaries, without this, intuitive connection of your spleen defining this, you may not have the instinct, right? This is the spleen, the instinct to know what to care for. So that's also interesting. If somebody has this full channel, we're going to get to that. That is a sacral spleen connection. That is hyper aware, intuitive response to like what needs to be taken care of, So it's so funny. So my son has this, my little manifester, here he is, like just this powerful manifester, right? He really is. The older he gets, the more you're like, whoa, buddy. But he is such a caring and compassionate little boy. He's a 4-6 with all tribal circuitry, undefined G center. He's all about his people. This kid, I know I talked about this last year at this time, and it's only gotten more so. Like his older sister loves babies. Oh no, he is like times a million. He is obsessed with babies. Obsessed. Like if they're real life, you you can't take him anywhere, because he's just like trying, like he wants to pick them up. He wants to, be in their faces. Like he just, oh, cute babies. I'm like, this is a super like boy. I've never seen a child, let alone a boy, this obsessed with babies. Like he loves them so much and he talks about them all the time. And so like it's hilarious. And then you look at his chart, where does he get his 27? It's his conscious Mercury. He's a Taurus and he has Mercury in Taurus. I'm like, this is what he thinks about. That's how he's designed. I'm like, no wonder, right? No wonder he's just like gaga for babies. Because this is what this is about. This is how his mind works. It's so funny. Um, anyway, sorry, tangent. I'm obsessed with him. So moving on, the programming partner for this one is Scorpio gate 28. 28 is known as the preponderance of the great. It's the gate of the game player. And of course, the programming partner is when the sun's in 27, the earth is automatically in 28. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. The keynote with this one is the fear of death, purpose, awareness to struggle for purpose or not taking risks out of fear that life has no purpose unless you take risks. So gate 28 is known as the gate of the game player, as in the game of life. This is energy that loves to just take risks simply for the rush. It's like a bit of an adrenaline junkie. The low expression with 28 is living in fear of time running out. I always say a joke. It's like, well, Scorpio is code for death. It has this like need, this instinctual need to like understand what makes life worth living. So I already mentioned, yeah, like adrenaline junkie, it's reaching to the root center, which is associated with our adrenal glands. Um, it's also one that it definitely can make life harder on itself than it needs to be, you know. It can also be, on the flip side, rather than total, like as I said, adrenaline junkie, it can be like very fearful of death and avoid risks at all costs. So anyway, the high expression with it is finding meaning, not wasting the precious time that we've been given here. These people typically are hyper aware of time, and they don't want to squander a second of it. 28 really does want to make the most of life. And by being tuned into the spleen's instinctual awareness, that's going to know which are the correct boundaries to push or the risks to take to experience life to the max. Again, it can be a mark of a person with incredible intuitive timing. I have friends, good friend of mine, Magnolia Nash, like she has her moon is in 28, and I'm like, she just timing is her thing. So the channel that completes, or excuse me, the gate that completes the channel, I'm telling you, I apologize. I'm realizing by a certain time, I'm like, I'm spent. Okay, the gate that completes the channel is Libra and or Scorpio. This is a bridge gate. It's gate 50, forming the channel of preservation, as in the preservation of life. So 50 is known as the cauldron. It's the gate of values. And the keynote here is the fear of responsibility, awareness to be responsible for the preservation of others or not, fear of taking on responsibility, taking on too much due to fear, too much, too little, not enough, all that. So 50 known is also known as the guardian. It's here to nurture and guide others with integrity. So again, the fear here stems from taking on too much responsibility for others, this kind of self-fulfilling prophecy, because you knew in the first place you weren't equipped to handle it. And gate 50 people are meant to recognize that they are here to act as like an elder in their group, demonstrate and uphold important values. They're the ones out establishing what's right or wrong, good or bad, creating the moral conditioning of society. I think in this one, it's like important that you embody the biggest, best version of yourself, like that big sister, big brother version of you, that ensures the success and survival of future generations. It's very much role model energy, gate 50. They're meant to be an authority, a role model of some kind. In the I Ching, the cauldron, what this is known as, is the communal cooking pot where you come to receive nourishment. There's gate 27. Basically to be recharged by those who pour into your cup. So when they come together, right, 27 is the sustainable, life-giving sacral center connecting to 50, the intuitive instincts of the spleen. So this channel is both a gut response and an intuitive awareness, a clarity about responsibility and caring for others when responding. It's about being that custodian for the members, especially the children of the tribe. These people feel naturally trustworthy to others. Their aura, it's aura busting energy as well. And it really draws people in with its warmth and connection. They bring people into the community. It's hilarious. I'm saying this with my little guy again because he's a line 4. And he just, he is, I'm like, he's a kindergartner and everybody at school knows him, all ages, 6th graders, like he's the bro. He's just hilarious. Leave it to a manifester, right? Anyway, when the two come together and they're forming this channel, it's like about being a natural nurturer, which, yeah, like big time. When you have the full channel, right? He doesn't because he's a manifestor. He can't have it, but it's like very much this natural nurturing energy with this sustainable, that's the missing piece, the sustainable energy to fulfill that role. So you have to be, if you have this full channel defined, you are absolutely a generator or manifesting generator. The other 3 types cannot have this. So of course it gives you that generator aura, the cashmere blanket effect. It pulls people in. They want to wrap up in that blanket with you. You feel good. You feel safe. You feel, it's just like it's a good vibe. It's a very magnetic energy that elicits that trust from others. So, again, paying attention to the sacral response. If you have this full channel, like who do you feel pulled to be responsible for? Astrologically, this would be a Taurus, Libra, quincunx aspect, which is interesting because they're both 2 signs ruled by Venus, which is all about what we value. Or gate 50 could be into Scorpio, and then it would be a Taurus Scorpio opposition. And then, of course, this gate is happening in the first quarter of the wheel. It's basically the initiation of the mind. It's where it's all, it's like, hey, actually, I'm gonna get out of my mind and know what my body's saying yes to responding to. And basically not up in my head giving because I feel like I should. I really need, again, it's like mentally, have I scheduled myself a little bit of self-care so I have a cup to fill from? So do you have this gate in your chart? Of course, the sacral is the box, the second one up from the bottom. 27 is going to be off the left-hand side. So if you have it colored in red or black, or both red and black, you have it defined somewhere. If you don't have it, it's going to be white. Mine's white. I don't have either part of this channel at all, but of course, we're going to be experiencing this stuff for the next, approximately 6 days plus other people. Other people come in and condition us with these energies. So we're always experiencing these things, even if you don't have them through, like I said, through other people on the planets. But always curious to know. Of course, you can hit me up on Instagram and let me know. I'm always putting out posts now, reels on how, this energy, especially for my estheticians, my, medical aesthetics people, of how to use this in the treatment room. Of course, if you're a massage therapist or somebody else, that's in a similar field, it's great because again, you can apply this to you, but I'm speaking to my estheticians. Okay. I will be back soon with more. If this episode was valuable to you, I would love it if you would leave it a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. That helps so much get this out to more people. And it makes me feel good. I appreciate it. And if you want to learn more human design, of course, you can get my free guide, $11 masterclasses. Go get the Golden Experience Guide course before the price goes up. You have until the end of April. And of course, you can still get it after. Ashley's going to add a module. We were just talking today, kind of a little bit more detail about what her module is going to be. She's really going to get into, how this has impacted her, her life, her business, recognizing the subject came up today of the high and the low expression of things, recognizing your shadows, and realizing, "Oh, these are things that I do need to look at and I do wanna work on," right? You integrate that and wanna do the high expression of all the things in your chart. So I'm really excited for that. So even if you sign up now, you get the early bird price, you're gonna get that module, and I know there's gonna be more things added to it over time. Of course, my yoga nidras, little fox, all the cool things that are coming. Just hang in there, stay tuned. You can follow me over at Instagram or on Instagram at Michaela McLean. All the links are in the bio. And of course, until next time, have a beautiful day.